Okay, so I've got one for you, and this is about this special person and why we all love and respect this guy. This is by American Censored, and these guys have been going on for a long time. I'm surprised this channel isn't at like over 1 million subscribers.
Jeremy Corbyn and Code Pink head to Cuba to show their support for the communist regime. And Cubans themselves are not happy.
This guy's been in the game for a long time, and these guys make consistent videos. They've got I think it's called China Uncensored, and this is the newer channel.
Welcome to American Covered. I'm Chris Chappell. Cuba just experienced its third nationwide blackout this month. Human Rights Watch reports that people don't have reliable access to drinking water, hospitals can't operate safely, basic goods are becoming increasingly difficult to obtain, and garbage is piling up in the streets.
Damn, that sounds like UK Birmingham. wait. Not a third world country, but it's turning into one. Birmingham, UK, bin. He looks like Jeremy Corbyn. This guy. Do I dare? Let's go.
There's rotting food in there. It's ridiculous.
Birmingham has a bin collection crisis. Now, you might have already heard that, but what you probably didn't know is that in parts of Birmingham, the bin strikes have created a tale of two pavements. That's because this side of Chelworth Road is run by Birmingham City Council, where some residents haven't had a regular bin collection for over a month. The other
Okay. Let's just quickly, I want to see.
side is run by Worcestershire City Council, who have had regular visits throughout the strikes. And all that means is one side of the road has seen bin bags piling up, whilst the other has had to stare at them.
Both me and my sister, we've had bin collections obviously as normal, never had any trouble. Mom and dad.
Birmingham's like, I think it's the second or third biggest city in the UK after London. So there's something shady's going on. Anyway, let's carry on with this. Birmingham's turning into a dump.
This is some pretty dark stuff, both figuratively and literally. And that's really not the kind of thing YouTube likes to monetize, which is why I'm so grateful for this week's sponsor.
I'm sorry, I can't watch. They already know.
Medical supplies and aid workers. But we live in the stupidest timeline, so instead, Cubans were treated to a concert by Irish EDM rap trio Kneecap. Happened the Cuban.
What's EDM? Sorry.
By Irish.
I don't know who these people are. Kneecap.
EDM rap trio Kneecap. Haven't the Cuban people suffered enough? Now you're probably asking yourself, why? What is...
Do you know what I hate is this all, it just seems like, what do you call it, like a popularity contest. It's like people who jumped on the bandwagon for Palestine, they don't really give a shit about Palestine. These people don't care about Cuba. They're just there because it's in the media. So that means that they can jump on the bandwagon and gain a bit more popularity. It's kind of sad because they're not there to go, yeah, look at this Cuba, they're not there to help.
Rap trio Kneecap. Haven't the Cuban people suffered enough? Now you're probably asking yourself, Why? What is the point?
Let's see if I'm right. I hope I'm not, and they're actually there to help, and they're like there, giving out clothes, food, and what do you call it? Just help the people in general.
To this? Well, that concert was part of the Nuestra America Convoy, which bills itself as an international humanitarian mission to break the U.S. blockade on Cuba. The basic pitch is that Cuba is suffering. The U.S. is squeezing it, and so a group of concerned citizens from around the world would deliver supplies and show solidarity with the Cuban people. Open supporters of the convoy includes the likes of leftist U.S. politician Rashida Tlaib and Greta Thunberg.
See, this is another one of those jump on the bandwagon type of people. It's one of the these people. This is like the what do you call it? This is like the female version of Hasan. This is the female Hasan.
The medieval squire who's apparently forgotten all about the world-ending threat of climate change in favor of geopolitics. As for those who went to Cuba, I tell you, the convoy sure sent in their A-team. Besides Kneecap, whose members...
I need to see that picture. Let's see that picture again.
Besides Kneecap...
Okay. Look like a bunch of tramps that will rob you. He's doing some sort of gang sign. Oh my god. The outfit, this looks like it's from the 80s or 90s. Yeah. His menacing face.
Kneecap, whose members are apparently big fans of the terrorist group Hezbollah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You also have Hassan Piker, the communist
This guy is the worst.
Nepo baby who made his name streaming on Twitch, a platform owned by Amazon and Jeff Bezos, just in case you're wondering. And of course you have Code Pink, a left-wing activist.
Didn't Hassan, shh. Isn't he, like, I like how these people can get away with things.
Stop kicking.
Why are people mad about you, Kaya, / what were you doing? There's a clip out there that in the aftermath of me getting my internet getting pooped, I come back live and I'm very frustrated. And while I'm tweaking around, I give Kaya the place command as I usually do, which is one of the things that she knows.
Just going through this so people know that he's an animal abuser, and he indulges in this sort of behaviour. He was watching his dog being not bullied, but like not harassed, but it was like another dog was like fighting with it.
Activist group led by Jody Evans, wife of China-based billionaire Neville Roy Singham.
Who the hell is this guy? He's got a very interesting face. His face. Oh, look at that. It's almost like it's got that Joe Rogan look to it, but without the muscular structure. Do you know what I mean? Because it's obviously got that, and it's like a little hook going on.
Yep. When you're living under a communist dictatorship that's getting squeezed to death by international sanctions, these are the people you'd want to come to your rescue. Along for the ride, you also had former British Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and Ilma.
Who? Dude, this looks like something out of like Vote Disney. Who the hell is this person? It's got a very interesting face. This looks so cheesy.
Myanmar's 23-year-old daughter, as well as
Whose daughter?
Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and Ilma Mar's 23-year-old daughter.
Who's it? Let's quickly see his face again. Ilma Mar.
As well as these are the people. Evans, wife of China-based billionaire Neville Roy Singham.
Hold on.
Cuba's National Assembly and a member of the National, which coordinates left-wing around the world. The convoy was organized by Code Pink and a group called Progressive International.
I need to see that person's
which coordinates
name.
left-wing political movements globally. Worth around the world. The convoy was globally. Worth Cuba's National Assembly and had former British Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and Ilma Mar.
Let's see. I need to see who this is. Oh, I forgot how to even spell the name now. Wish you could copy paste it. What is it? It's Isra. Isra what? I forgot. Oh. Is it that? Father, who's your father? Oh. It's that. It's her. That's right. I was like, who does that sound? Mother. Ooh, that's not a good parent to have. Because what is it? Rano men. Hold on. Where's she from? Oh, Minnesota. Isn't that the what is it? Minnesota. Isn't that where all the fraud is? Okay. Let's get rid of this.
Mar's 23-year-old daughter, as well as dozens of parliamentarians, journalists, and left-wing politicians from around the world. The convoy was organized by Code Pink and a group called Progressive International, which coordinates left-wing political movements globally. Worth noting, their advisory council includes Mariela Castro, the daughter of Raul Castro. She's a deputy in Cuba's National Assembly and a member of the Cuban political apparatus. So, the organization running the convoy to Cuba has the Castro family in.
I thought that those guys couldn't be in the political game. I could be wrong. The
Embedded in its
dictators.
own leadership structure. I'd call that a red flag, but maybe that's a little too on the nose. Now, when you're going on a humanitarian mission to a country in crisis, where people are running out of drinking water and the streets are turning into open sewers, you might want to, I don't know, rough it a little, stay somewhere modest, show some solidarity. But instead, many of the convoy's leaders chose to stay at the Grand Hotel Bristol Melia Collection, a 5-star.
Okay, so if they've got money, then where they got? Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got money, so they should stay
hotel
wherever,
whose
right?
cheapest rooms go for over $100 a night, which is to say, more than 5 months of wages for the average.
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Okay. Wow. Wow. The average Cuban salary now equals. This is ridiculous how the world is like this. Like $16 is like nothing. But to these guys, it's like huge.
Cuban. When critics pointed this out, Hasan Piker went on stream to explain.
The American government
Just say, look, I'm rich, and I can stay wherever I want. But then he has to come up with this shit. The American
makes
government.
it illegal for Americans to stay wherever they want when they're
Hold on. How is it illegal? You're in a different country. The rules don't apply. What do you mean? What do you mean illegal? The laws of America don't apply to you. If you're in a different country.
they're in Cuba. They have to stay in what
It makes it illegal.
to stay wherever they want when they're in Cuba.
I need to hear that
Pointed this
again.
out, Hasan Piker went on stream to explain.
The American government makes it illegal
Dude, this guy never tells the truth.
for Americans to stay wherever they want when they're in Cuba. They have to stay in what they've declared as 5-star hotels.
That claim was immediately fact-checked by an ex-community note which clarified that U.S. law only prohibits Americans from staying at venues owned by the Cuban government or connected figures. There is no law requiring anyone to stay at a 5-star hotel.
Why would he say stupid shit like that? Just say, look, I've got money. I'm not poor, as you guys know.
Meanwhile, a Cuban man filmed himself standing outside the hotel, which remained lit thanks to a private generator, while the rest of the neighborhood was left in complete darkness. Mike Gonzalez.
Must feel really weird to not have electricity. If anyone has ever been in a place where there's no it doesn't go absolutely dark, but if you ever have a power cut, you can see the stars. You can see each other, but you can see the stars, which is weird. In the West, you wouldn't experience that, but it's weird because the stars, they look bigger.
As a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation and Cuban exile, who was forced to leave the island at the age of 12, put it bluntly. They're staying at a 5-star hotel while the island's electrical grid has collapsed for the second time in a week. These hundreds of communists from around the world are feasting on lobster tail and treating Cuba as an ideological theme park.
This is what I mean. These are the people who would go to Palestine and take their what's it called? Makeup artist and camera crew for a photo opportunity, and but they wouldn't go to, like, let's say, the other places like Sudan or whatever it is, because they're not highlighted in the media. They'd only go to the places that are highlighted in the media.
An ideological theme park. That's a great way to put it. And I'll be coming back to that. But here's where it gets truly special. Remember that kneecap show I talked about? That happened on Saturday, March 21st. March 21st was also the day Cuba suffered its third nationwide blackout of the month. And some reports suggested the blackout happened mid-concert. But still, kneecap kept playing. Now, I want you to think about the economics here for a second. Cuba doesn't have a free market for electricity. It has a centrally planned, state-rationed electrical grid. The government decides who gets power and who doesn't. So when a five-star hotel runs its private generator, and when a concert venue stays lit while the rest of the island goes dark, that's not the free market at play.
Oh my god, this is really weird that that they don't, like, a whole country doesn't have enough electricity for its own people. And I don't think they're even running that off the grid, they're running it off a generator. That's crazy.
Those are deliberate decisions made by the same regime that helped plan this convoy. The Cuban government had to choose, and it chose optics over its own citizens. As one Cuban exile put it, while nearly the entire country is suffering from power outages lasting over 20 hours, the left is welcomed with air conditioning and wasteful electricity consumption. More than 100 homes wouldn't be without power today if the Castro regime didn't spend on communist propaganda with the international left. Okay, that's a pretty bad look. But hey, at least they said they were bringing...
It's always like the mafia or the terrorist that, like, don't care about its own people.
supplies to the island, right? Well, I mean, technically, I guess, the convoy brought with it 20 tons of aid valued at over $570,000. Medical supplies, food, solar panels, and the like. That sounds significant until you do the math. Cuba has 11 million people. 20 tons of aid at $570,000 works out to roughly a nickel's worth of supplies per person. A single mid-sized cargo ship delivers more. It is, in the context of Cuba's crisis, a rounding error. And that's before we get to the distribution problem.
At least if they bought something which is at least, not like they've not done. I didn't know they had like something. I hope it's like useful stuff.
They were
Let's see what it
supplies
was.
to the island, right? Well, I mean, technically, I guess, the convoy brought with it 20 tons of aid valued at over $570,000.
I bet it's all junk.
Medical supplies, food, solar panels, and the like.
Medical supplies for food, solar panels.
Like, that sounds significant until you do the math. Cuba has 11 million people. 20 tons of aid at $570,000 works out to roughly a nickel's worth of supplies per person. A single mid-sized cargo ship delivers more. It is, in the context of Cuba's crisis, a rounding error. And that's before we get to the distribution problem, which nobody in the convoy actually has an answer to. As the Havana Times points out, no details are known about how the supplies will be distributed once they arrive on the island. Will there be independent oversight mechanisms to ensure that
Generally, what happens is everything gets trickled down, so all the good stuff will be gone straight away, and like 1%, being really, if the mafia are involved, might go to the people. All those solar panels and food, they'll be stocked in someone else's house. That's me guessing. Someone will be like, oh yeah, we'll sort that out for you. Gone.
the aid reaches the population directly. Cuba doesn't have an independent civil society. There are no autonomous NGOs with their own distribution networks. There's no Red Cross equivalent operating outside state supervision. Every port, every warehouse, every hospital supply chain runs through the government. So when Code Pink hands over pallets of medicine at the airport, their custody of those supplies ends at that moment. What happens next is entirely at the regime's discretion. And the regime has a well-documented track record of redirecting foreign aid, including medical supplies, into hard currency shops where goods are sold back to the ordinary Cubans at prices they can't afford, generating revenue for the state. So while those supplies may be real, the odds of them reaching the hospital patients who need them are a lot less certain. Speaking of...
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. That happens quite often, which is horrible.
patients, NBC News got a rare look inside a Cuban hospital this week. Now, when a government that tightly controls media access suddenly opens a single hospital for cameras, you should think carefully about what you're actually seeing. This isn't journalism so much as a...
Yeah, I thought that was going to be how do I put it? Like the best, and threatened. They've probably threatened everyone. Like, you better obey or else.
guided tour. The hospital they chose was the Institute of Hematology and Immunology, one of the best equipped facilities on the island. But even there, one nurse told NBC that the power goes out 1 to 3 times a day, lasting anywhere from 1 to 8 hours. This puts things like life-saving medicine, which sometimes have to be kept refrigerated, at risk. The hospital's labs have even had to reduce their operations from 5 days a week to just 2 in order to save fuel. Though they did make a point to tell NBC that no patient has died as a result of the blackouts and shortages, which, if true, is kind of miraculous, though it may be wise to...
I've heard that America wants to make Cuba the next state, and if that happens, Cuba will be like one of the best places to live in the world because of its isn't it like rich in like its beauty and soil and stuff.
Take that with a boulder-sized grain of salt. And this is to say nothing of Cuba's many other less fortunate hospitals. Although the hospital visited is one of the best equipped in the country, the workers themselves admitted that the situation in other institutions could be even more critical. But here's the thing that should bother everyone about these news items, these streamers, and the Nuestra America convoy itself. The pure absurdity of it all. Let's go back in time to the days of the Soviet Union. Walter Duranty was the New York Times Moscow bureau chief in the 1920s and early 1930s. He won a Pulitzer Prize in 1932 for his reporting on the Soviet Union, reporting that systematically denied the Holodomor, Stalin's engineered famine that killed somewhere between 3 and 7 million Ukrainians. Duranty got regime-curated tours of model farms. He reported what the Soviets wanted reported. He gave Stalin international legitimacy at the moment the regime was the most vulnerable to outside pressure. And he knew what was happening, but he chose access over truth. The Nuestra America convoy is using the same playbook, updated for the social media age. In some ways, it's even worse than Durante's tape. Durante was operating in an era when verification was genuinely difficult. Hasan Piker, meanwhile, is living in the 21st century. He has a smartphone. He has the internet. Cuba's real-life conditions aren't some big secret. He merely walks past them to get to his five-star hotel. As one Cuban exile told the New York Post, the left visits Cuba as if it were a party at a zoo, and they
I agree with that 100%. He's just there, just so he gains more popularity. That's his shtick. He's a performative type of person more than anything, and he sounds like Kermit the Frog. No one ever talks about him sounding like Kermit the Frog. But now that I've said it, you might hear it.
They go to admire the misery from a luxury hotel, a party at a zoo, an ideological theme park, a safari for rich Western communists to gawk at people's suffering and call it noble. The suffering is the content. They get to feel like revolutionaries, fly home to their Amazon money, and Cuba stays dark. It's just insane. These people are communists and proud of it. They'll tell you the Cuban system is a good system, worth defending and celebrating. And yet, the system they're defending has never, not for a single year in its entire existence, survived without being subsidized by a larger power. After the revolution, Cuba went from economic dependency on the United States to economic dependency on the Soviet Union. Moscow was subsidizing Havana to the tune of billions of dollars a year. Cheap oil, artificially inflated sugar prices, essentially keeping the entire economy on life support. When the Soviet Union collapsed, Cuba had what they called the special period. Severe food shortages and total economic implosion. The system didn't adapt, it waited for the next patron. That patron turned out to be Hugo Chavez and Venezuelan petrodollars. For more than 2 decades, Venezuela pumped cheap oil into Cuba and kept the lights on. Now Venezuela's gone too, and Cuba is back to exactly where it always lands when the external subsidy dries up. Collapse. An ideology that claims to represent self-determination, anti-imperialism, and liberation from capitalism has required continuous life support from outside powers for its entire existence. It has never stood on its own. That's not a blockade problem, that's a fundamental indictment of the system itself. So what did the Nuestra America convoy actually accomplish? It delivered a symbolic drop in the bucket of supplies with no accountability.
Sorry. Dude. Don't tell me this is... Hold on. Okay, so there's a whole trolley. I was like, what? It's 2. There's 1 Zimmer frame. It's like there's like 5,000 people that need it, and only one person might get this. Hold on, what am I talking about? He just said that they have to buy it. They can't.
For where they end up. It consumed electricity that Cuba's ration system had to divert from people who actually needed it. It gave a communist dictatorship a propaganda lifeline. International celebrities meeting with the regime to signal legitimacy at the exact moment the government is teetering. And it muddied the attribution of Cuba's crisis, pushing the narrative that the U.S. blockade is the sole cause when Cuba was already collapsing under the weight of 6 decades of central planning long before Trump tightened the screws. Here is the simplest summary of what the Nuestra America convoy achieved. The Cuban government had just enough energy to power a 5-star hotel and a concert for a handful of Western activists. 11 million Cubans sat in the dark, and Kneecap kept playing. What do you think? Are these influencers mere?
They're all a bunch of knobs. All a bunch of knobs. Thank you, Mr. America. This guy, I don't know who made the original video. E. And I wish this guy would have it on his channel, but you can't see who made the video, which is annoying. Because he's watching someone else's, so we're going to watch his video.
You're telling me people on Twitter who aren't biased decided that what looked like a pretty clear case of animal abuse, that there was animal abuse? Oh my god, it's like people outside of your fucking
Consequential violence, okay? It's the
That's kind of ironic.
I want to know who made I couldn't find who made the original one, which is frustrating.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I mean, is there any oh, he was screaming.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting down and being a background prop for his viewers to look at.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the
That's kind of ironic. Talking about violence and then he just tases his dog.
same reason as to why America,
Nice.
Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Oh, there was, yeah. People think this guy's amazing.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I mean, is there any question as to what happened here? Like, he obviously looks set up to where our house is for that, you know? Safety? Well, he's not fucking using it for safety at all, you know? Or, you know, his parents and whatever.
What are you doing?
Entire life being like a fucking gold mine for propaganda. It do that.
Shit. All of the other clips that people have been showing are either the AirTag or the vibration collar that she has. Can you just show the collar? Shut everyone up. XU said he would donate 50K to a shelter if he did. This is one of Kaya's many collars. This
He
is
He
the
puts
one
like
that
tape, sellotape on it.
people are talking about. It has the
And then
capacity to vibrate, and that's it. There's the AirTag. There's the fucking vibrator. I understand.
Can you put it closer to the camera so I don't have to squint? Like, even when he shows it, it's so deceptive.
And that's it. There's the AirTag.
He's like covering half the thing. He doesn't give the maker model. He doesn't say what does that even mean? The capacity to vibrate? Does that use electricity? Oh, and we got fucking Frogan in the chat right here. Literally, bro. She probably has a collar on from him as well, you know? He's like, I got the XL size for you, bitch.
There's the fucking vibrator. I understand.
Okay, but vibration collars don't hurt them, though. That sounded like it hurt her. Well, obviously, yeah. And she literally jolted to go back into the position. This is by far the most...
look, he's an arsehole and he shocks his dog. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this.
One of the most...
He's done this so many times where instead of actually going and addressing criticism, he just, like, does this annoying...
I wasn't after this. I wanted to see this one. Sorry, wrong video. Okay, it's taking a while for this thing to load up. Dude, why is it taking so long? Oh my god. See, it's loaded. It just doesn't want to play. Let's go back and go forward.
Poor Hasan.
See, that one worked.
When performative
There we go.
activism meets Cuban blackouts.
Don't you just hate that?
It's incredible. It's truly one of my favorite places officially. I totally understand what
So we just watched
about
what was it? America Uncensored, but someone else is got a little bit more nitty gritty detail.
Cuba.
Then go live there. It's the same thing every time. He loves China. He loves.
But today is a beautiful day out here.
They're just chilling. They're just chilling. You know.
That has something to do with it. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but like they're just chilling. Like
They're just chilling. They're just chilling. They're just chilling. You know, it's just an oppressive government. They're just chilling.
Okay. Yeah, obviously they're not going to have any luxuries or a generator. So I have to open the door and wait.
Man. Yeah, I don't
I spent all day taking care of my mother and sibling.
know. Is this what just chilling looks like? They have to
like last night we ended the broadcast and I went and linked up with the Progressive International boys. I met Jeremy Corbyn. That was fantastic.
We saw that in the other video. He's a knobhead. He's performative as well.
And I hung out with the Kneecap boys. We went out and drank.
This is such a
What? Hold on. Identifies as a non-practicing Muslim. Okay, so yeah. It's faith. Dude, this guy would be this guy would be a Jedi if it was a religion in the mainstream media.
a brutal juxtaposition because it really shows you what he advocates for and where he lives and how he lives. The things that he says everyone should. Oh, he's just an evil fuck.
Establishment, and we have been
he loves it here. Go live here, man. Go live here. Stream in this pile of crap.
just been living La Vida
It's a
Loca.
literal.
Living the La Vida Loca.
With just wads of cash for the most part, with hopes that there's like a little bit of economic respite for each individual Cuban that we encounter.
You can't
It
make
is
this up.
another night without power anywhere on Cuba, another nationwide blackout, the second in 2 weeks. I'm just making use of
Nationwide blackouts. That it's not like Southern America.
passing vehicles.
Oh, we have to see these idiots on the plane. Just because,
Here we are on our way to Cuba.
I wouldn't trust any of these people. They're all like there for fakeness. They're not there for the nitty gritty. They're not there to go, I don't know. Oh, you need what? You couldn't get milk. I'll go get you milk. Do you know what I mean? I know it sounds ridiculous, but they're not actually there to help. When I see this what is it? These scarves, I don't feel like they mean what they should mean. It's almost like like it represents something, doesn't it? And like I can't remember what. It's like it's like the fishing culture, and do you know what I mean? That's what some of the nets mean and stuff. And but it's now, ever since the Palestine thing, this is more like a fashionable thing for your Instagram, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
look, this is all for, what's it called? Likes and
Get it on
subscribers.
video.
You just see all these scarves. It's almost like. See, I'm noticing more and more of these scarves. They lose their value and
Get
meaning
it on video.
when people like this have it on. Like, yeah. What I'm trying to say is they're wearing them for fashion purposes. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't care, is what I mean. It's fine to wear it, but like, it's just, they're just, if anyone's selling these patterned things on eBay, you're gonna make a lot of money. There's people, I'm being serious, people are gonna buy that.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like this is the best way to spend your spring break. I mean, maybe your heart's in the right place. You think you're doing something good. You know, you could always go to Vegas or Florida or
No,
something.
I don't
have
agree.
fun with the friends, but
Cruel, inhumane, barbaric policy of the Trump administration has to go.
I am helping to
No.
leave a
Another one.
gift and vision of humanidad.
What? They just, dude.
This is the mural for humanity,
I don't think that helps anybody.
and it's going to.
So you just like painted a wall, and that's like what you're doing your part. The LARP never.
Yeah, that's a good word, LARP. This guy, he used the word LARP. I agree, the LARP. It's like, yeah.
ends. Okay?
Have little boats with notes in it of love, and
No one cares about your notes. Someone sent me a note while I was like hungry and I've not had clean water and electricity and stuff. That note wouldn't do anything for me.
the word. Did you see how I crossed?
Whilst they're painting a wall.
All the way to the bird on the other side. There'll be.
Look at this. Hold on. What? They're painting this building, but they've only painted where they can reach. They've not.
Fishes and sea life.
Okay, they've got a scaffold. Oh my god. They've just there to do graffiti.
And it's from a poem with artists from
Oh, it's
the
for.
United States.
It's for it. So that's why the only people who appreciate this are the people who you went with, because it's such a good thing that you're doing. Okay.
Tonight, a rare look inside a Cuban hospital as doctors struggle to treat patients amid a power and energy crisis there.
Okay, we saw that.
That's fucking terrible. Protesters themselves.
We saw all this.
It just is a people having a great time. It doesn't.
Garbage is piling up on every street corner. Carlos Montes de Osa says he tries to stay calm, but it's overwhelming. The stress gets you. You could have a heart attack, he says. Families huddle around in the dark.
Let's see what this woman's saying, actually.
It makes you want to...
You obviously know what she's going to say.
Isabel Garcia
Using the bike light.
tells me they feel devastated.
Man.
I've said it for far too long that my...
Seeing that bike light, it just reminded me, a very useful thing to have would be, what do you call them? Dynamos. With like, because you get like the multi-dynamo radio, and light, and I bet they, would probably, find that useful.
My beef with people who pretend to care is how much they're willing to put on a show and act as if what they're doing in
Oh, it's this guy's video.
somehow going to be of positive note.
We don't know who he is.
Glaring issues that are going on in a given area, whether it be a city, a district, a town, a state, or even a continental country. Because when you have a situation like Cuba, and you have these people who are suffering through blackouts, through medical emergencies, not having the resources that they need, it pisses me off seeing a streamer and his cohort group of people.
I think we all agree on that, dude. We all are.
It was like blew up there. I swear to God. I had a really funny experience with that. It's like we get in the
This is, hold on. This is, look. This is his, the network he's on.
We get into Uber last night. Marsh and I are about to discuss that we're gonna be in Cuba, like talking about plans, right? And I was like, March, don't say anything, because I noticed that the dude.
Yeah, again, when you go to one of these countries in a 5-star hotel, you do realize you're not seeing the actual country, right? You're getting a 5-star hotel experience as a tourist. How the fuck are you going to talk about the quality of the country that you didn't even experience? Like, what are you talking about?
In the car was a Miami Cuban. I was like, don't. Like, I literally went, don't say anything. And then I just asked him. I was like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, Cuba. And I was like, okay. And I just asked him about, like, you know, what his feelings are about what's going on. March actually spasmed.
So he hates the Miami Cubans because they like America, by the way.
This is so good because Hasan can never face the truth. And he can't admit that he likes America more than his own country. He'd think he's Turkish, and he would never admit it. This guy is let's see if I can find one, a hypocrite. I spelled hypocrite wrong. Hold on. Let's see.
Are you wearing two? You are not wearing two watches, are you? This is ridiculous. Bro, like are you wearing?
Yeah, he is wearing two watches.
That's the problem is he doesn't want to hear them because although they're from the country that he likes, he doesn't want to hear their opinion because he knows it differs from his propaganda.
Some Spanish at him.
His fake political view. His fake political view.
Okay. And let me tell you, okay. He said Donald Trump needs to finish the job. That's what he said. That was the first guy.
Oh my God, this guy likes Trump.
And this is like, I guess this was March's first real interaction with like a Miami Cuban. You know what I mean? This was his first ever interaction with a real Miami Cuban, like a real ass Miami Cuban, right? So he was like kind of shocked. And I know what the stream Fs look like, Megaphonics. I'm monitoring it.
Don't say the word shocked.
I'm monitoring the stream as well. So
notice how he's stereotyping them in order to invalidate their own experience. I'm a big believer that stereotypes exist for a reason. Like, I believe that stereotypes are formed after repeat patterns of behavior are observed widely, right? And why it exists in the first place.
So Marge had not experienced that at all. So that was like his first ever inclination. And the guy had no family here. They were all in Miami, right? So like, you know, obviously he was the classic, like, you know, bomb it all, like God sorted out type guy. And then this morning we had another conversation, but this guy was actually so on Trump, and he was still like, oh, the government is like everything, it's bad, blah blah blah, communism is bad. But he was a little bit more open-minded because I was able to like talk to him about the embargo. You know, they have this very weird attitude about it. They have this very weird attitude about it. On the one hand, they understand what their families' lives looked like or felt like when there was a little bit of sanctions relief, and like they could send money with ease to their families. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a strange cognitive dissonance to experience in real time. But, you know, I gave a couple interviews at the airport and stuff, and then we flew in.
I don't want to hear about your fun time in Cuba. I want to hear about what's happening in Cuba. I don't want to see motherfuckers performing in a concert while there are people who have to suffer through blackouts. I don't want to see a mural being painted while people are struggling to keep their family members alive. It is not something that would really be a good taste in the mouth when knowing that people are suffering in areas and they need help. Yes, you could dedicate time and money at a given moment, but what does it say when the money dries up quick because those resources are being spread out quickly? It's good that you did a small thing, but that small thing, I'm sorry, is just not enough. And that's not necessarily anyone's fault. It's not Hasan's fault. It's not Code Pink's fault. But when I'm seeing all of this performance and I'm recognizing it on the backdrop of people...
I'm glad he said performance, because that's all it is a performance. From everyone that was on that plane, none of it was like to actually help. None of it was to actually help, like the actual people. He's like, he's like the sort of person who would he wouldn't want to like be in the area of like the poor people. You know, he'd be disgusted, and he'd like what's it called? Like he'd have to put like use like wipes to clean his hands and stuff, and you know, he'd go in with like his hand on his nose. That's the sort of person he is.
Have to deal with something daily. That moment really doesn't mean too.
Yeah, no, he's 100% right. Yeah, because the money Hasan gives out and like the whatever assistance he provided, it's all contingent on him being able to stream it. So it's like more or less his chat donate go back. Hasan is right here. This guy's resubscribing.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know, you can literally see all in the bottom left-hand corner. Like, he gets these, like, donation notifications. This guy resubbed. So it's just like he's getting money while talking about giving money.
When the money dries up quick because those resources are being spread out quickly. It's good that you did a small thing, but that small thing, I'm sorry, is just not enough. And that's not necessarily anyone's fault. It's not Hasan's fault. It's not Code Pink's fault. But when I'm seeing all of this performance, and I'm recognizing it on the backdrop of people who have to deal with something daily. That moment really doesn't mean too much anymore. That moment doesn't really hold any amount of weight.
Isn't it also interesting how Hasan realized the best way to help would be by giving out money, while simultaneously arguing the position that the government is responsible for fixing all the systems of their citizens? Kind of interesting, right?
He's not helping. He's not helping. Code pink event led to black. We all know that.
Electricity that it led to a blackout. Cuban
Nice.
journalist Yoani Sanchez goes on to say,
We all saw all that. They're just repeating it.
Suppressing
report every single day will instead stand in front of everybody and say, hey.
Okay, anyway, let's watch this.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until... No. So they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. It's all right.
Wow. And now let's watch this.
Your Honor, I'm slaying.
The reason why I'm showing this is because I don't think he was told to put on the dress. I think he put on the dress himself. And all the comments are like, they're sort of like half and half. I have to watch this 30 times. Shrek bartender energy. The sassy walk. Does the dress make my head look small? Holy shit, he looking good, dang. This sounds cringe, but that gave me confidence to dress today the way I want to express myself. Dude, people are like praising him, like he looks like amazing. These are like the people that think he's like amazing. And I think he's a fool. I think he's a proper fool. That's not his real hair. I'm pretty sure.
Your Honor.
Everything about him is fake. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure he went to Cuba and his outfit was worth like $5,000.
Your Honor, I'm slaying.
It's not about the money. It's just the thing is he. Sorry, the image. He makes out he's like a political fighter. Not when I say fighter, I mean like an activist. His almost like his motto is, you know, I hate everything that represents where I am. But he lives comfortably. He spends all his money, but he doesn't admit like that he likes to spend money and think, do you know what I mean? Like he lies. He's a liar. That's the most annoying thing about him. Everything about him, it's never the truth. JS. It's like
Luffy is a terrorist. And he is. He is.
I hate that. You're kind of right.
He is a freedom fighter in the most like honorable.
He interviews like this terrorist. This clip. Not a terrorist. Sorry, a pirate. Sorry. And the thing is, Hasan is like a good shit talker, and everyone believes him. Like, no one seems to question him, or he bans people, and all his friends are like ridiculous as well, like people in his orbit. They like praise him. Even the guy at Twitch praises him, which is frustrating because you would think that he'd be like, don't interview what's it called, a pirate, dude, don't interview a pirate. But no. Yeah, so it's frustrating. Anyway, just remember, he's already put on the dress. People think his convoy thinks he's like the dude. Yeah, sure. So yeah, that's my slop for the day. Take care and have fun.